Hi everyone, my name is Maribel and I'll be your teacher for today. So today we're going to be building an animal and I'm going to give you a couple hints about what that animal is, and I want you guys to guess what kind of animal we'll be building today. So the first hint is that it has a big, hard, dome-shaped shell, and when they're scared they hide inside their shells. We see them living in water, on land, and they have short, sturdy feet. Do you know what animal it is we'll be building today? Today we'll be building a turtle. How many of you guys have seen a turtle before? So how would you describe a turtle? What are some common characteristics of a turtle? We know they have their hard, dome-shaped shell. And when they're frightened or scared, they'll hide inside their shell. They also have very rigid beaks, and they use their jaws to cut and chew food, much like we do. And they have short, sturdy feet, and they're famous for, have you ever heard of the hare and the tortoise? Who won the race? The tortoise won the race, but turtles and tortoises are known for being notoriously slow. They move very slowly, probably because they're carrying a lot of weight on their shoulders. So we're going to look at some different types of turtles. So we have the first turtle is the red-eared slider. So I want you to look at the three pictures and guess which one is the red-eared slider. So we're going to look at the different types of turtles. We have three that we'll be looking at. So looking at the three images in front of you, we have the red-eared slider. Do you want to guess which one is the red-eared slider? I'll give you a hint. It's in the name. So the red-eared slider is the bottom right photo, and they're called that because, as you can guess it, they have red slits on the side of their head, so it looks like they have red ears. You see these living in land, and we also have the African spurred tortoise. The African spurred tortoise, do you want to guess which one that is? That's the one at the top. It lives on land, it lives in Africa, and it has a very light brown color. They're huge tortoises. They have big shells, very round, and they're very large turtles. And lastly, we have the green sea turtle. So does anyone want to guess which one is the green sea turtle? It's the bottom left one. The green sea turtle lives in the water, although it doesn't have gills. So do you think a green sea turtle can breathe underwater? A green sea turtle needs air to breathe, but because they can live underwater, they can spend many hours underwater without coming up for air. In fact, they can sleep up to 7 hours without coming up for air, and they can stay in the water for a long period of time. So we have the green sea turtle, which can live and stay in the water. We have the African spurred tortoise, which are very large and you see them in different parts of Africa. And the red-eared slider, which looks like it has red ears on the side of its head. So where do you think turtles live? We talked about the green sea turtle, so we know that they can live in seas, in water. They can live in rivers and lakes and different types of reservoirs, or ponds and other types of waters. So turtles love water. And what do you think turtles like to eat? If they're around water so much, they should eat something that you would find in the water. Do you want to guess what kind of things they like to eat? So typically they love to eat aquatic plants, insects that you would find in ponds or rivers, shrimps, snails, and occasionally they'll eat dead marine animals, and they also feed off of jellyfish and sponge. So looking at the life cycle of a turtle, you want to guess how? So looking at the life cycle of a turtle, we know that they begin off as little tiny eggs, and when they hatch, they become a baby turtle, almost the size of. So we'll be looking at the life cycle of a turtle. So to start off, turtles start off in an egg. When they hatch, they grow into a baby turtle. And then over a few months, they become a full-grown adult turtle. So the life cycle of a turtle, they start off in an egg, they hatch and become these little tiny baby turtles, and then they grow up to be full adult grown turtles. So there are some things that turtles are afraid of. How many of you guys like being bitten by mosquitoes in the summer? How many of you guys like high temperature? And how many of you like mice, ants, and snakes? I'm going to guess that many of you guys don't like mosquitoes, don't like high temperatures, and don't like mice, ants, or snakes. In fact, turtles hate all of those things also. They don't like being bitten by mosquitoes. They like low, cold temperatures. Not too cold, but they don't like it to be too hot either. And they're scared of mice, ants, snakes. So today we're going to be building our own turtle model. Can you list some similarities or differences about the model we'll be building and a real-life turtle that we would see in the wild? Our turtle is definitely going to be a lot smaller than an adult turtle, but do you think our turtle will be bigger than a baby turtle? For sure. Our turtle will be smaller than an adult turtle, but bigger than a baby turtle. Our turtle, because we're using blocks, is going to come in different colors, but as we know, we see turtles usually be light brown, dark green. We're going to have the big shell that we talked about. We're going to make sure that our model has those short, stubby legs. With that being said, we're going to get started on our build. So make sure you have all your pieces out in front of you so the building will go a lot smoothly when we start. So to begin, you're going to take two 1x4s and getting another 1x4, you're going to clip it into the middle so that you have them joined like this. And you're going to make sure that this 2x4 is on only one line of pegs from each of the 2x4s. So you're going to link them like that, taking another 2x4 and another 2x4. You're going to connect them so that you create So to get started on our build, we're going to take two 2x4s, lay them horizontally, take another 2x4 block, and you're going to connect them together by putting them on the last two lines of those two 1x4s. So you should be creating kind of an H shape using those three blocks. Take another 2x4 and another 2x4, and you're going to create an L shape by connecting them together. So you should get a model just like this. You should have an L shape with your blocks so that your 2x4s are all linked together like that, and taking another 2x4 block You're going to do the same thing on the other side, so that they should be parallel. So you'll have each of those blocks connected, and that these two 2x4s are on two lines of the blue 2x4s at the bottom. So you should have kind of like a U shape with your block so far. Now taking another 2x4 block, you're going to be sticking it across the middle of the blocks that you have, and you're going to do that on both sides. So you can see that we've lined two 2x4 blocks, and that they're facing horizontally, and that they're connected on the last line of the red and yellow blocks that we have in the middle. And we're going to start creating that big sturdy shell of the turtle. So we're going to line them up to create a thicker shell for our turtle. So you're going to do another line of what we just did right under. So you should have 4 blocks at the bottom, and then we're going to start framing the rest of our shell. So you're going to do one more line of that using 2 more 2x4 blocks. And you can see our shell is starting to come together. That's going to build the base of the shell for our turtle. So taking another 2x4 block, you're going to place this in the middle, and you're going to know you have it in the right place if there are 2 empty pegs on both sides, and it's right below the first line of your line of 2x4s. Now doing that again, we'll be creating the peak to our shell. So that's going to be the top of our turtle's shell. Now taking a 2x2 block, we're going to create the neck of the turtle. You've seen this block here. We're going to add it right in the middle so that we have the neck of the turtle, and it's resting on the second line of blocks that we have at the bottom. And so you can see that we have the 2 sturdy short feet. We've got our shell complete, so all we need to do is complete the head and then add the tail. So take a 2x2 block, and you're going to put that right on the last line of the 2x2 block that we just put on. And you can see that we have now the neck of the turtle as well as his head. So of course the last thing we have to do is to add and give it its tail. So to give it its tail, you're just going to turn your tortoise over, and you're going to connect it to the blocks at the bottom so that the first 2 lines are connected, and it clips right in. So be careful not to. Be very careful so you don't move any of the pieces. And you're going to clip that in from the bottom so that it sticks out from the back of the shell. And so that is it for our model. We have our short, stubby legs at the bottom. We've created our shell. We got the neck and the head of the turtle. And we have the tail of the turtle as well. So to review what we've learned today, I'm going to quiz you guys. Do you guys remember what the life cycle of the turtle is? How the turtle is born? It starts off as an egg. It grows into a baby turtle once it hatches, and then it grows into a full adult turtle. We learned of the different types of turtles. We learned that there are the red-eared turtles that look like they have red ears. We have turtles that can live in rivers and ponds or different types of reservoirs. So some can be in water for up to 4 to 7 hours if they're sleeping. So even though they need air to live, they can survive in water for a very long time. And what are some things that a turtle might dislike? We know that they don't like high temperatures. They're not a big fan of mosquitoes in the summer. They're really scared of mice, of other type of rodents. Can you list some other properties of a turtle that we learned today? That they have those short that they have short legs, and that when they're scared they hide in their shell. So to summarize what we learned today, we covered the characteristics of a turtle. We know that they have a big, sturdy, big shell, and when they're scared, they'll hide in their shell. They have short, stubby legs. And we've learned of different types of turtles as well. We know that the big tortoises that are from Africa, does anyone remember what they're called? We also have the turtles that live underwater as well. And we also have the red-eared slider that looks like it has red ears. And we learned of some things that turtles dislike. They don't like high temperatures. They're not a big fan of rodents or being bitten by mosquitoes in the summer. And what about the life cycle? How does a turtle come into the world? How does it grow up into an adult turtle? They start off as an egg, they hatch into a baby tiny turtle, and then over a few months, they become a full-grown adult turtle. Does anyone remember what turtles love to eat? Since they're usually around water, they love to eat a lot of aquatic plants. They love to eat sponges, as well as other type of water life, some fishes as well. And we learned about the different characteristics and how our model is similar and different to a turtle that we would see in the wild. So that is it for today's lesson. Once you're done with your build, feel free to add to your turtle. You can make it a lot bigger. You can give it a bigger shell. And feel free to be creative, make your own model. And once you are done building, put your pieces away, clean up, and I will see you for the next lesson. Bye, everyone.